afternoon.
Hi, Elizabeth.
How are you?
Good. How are you?
Thanks for joining, everyone.
Mhm.
Thanks, everyone, for joining us this afternoon. It's going to be a great event. Hi, everyone who's joining. Great to see everybody here. Thanks so much for coming out to share information and learn about all these incredible organizations. We have had a lot of interest, especially in the recording for this. I know some programs are planning to share with families at some of their events coming up. So just be aware that the information will be housed and reach a pretty big audience. So we're excited about that. Good afternoon, everyone. We're going to get started in just a moment. Thanks so much for coming out. If you'd like to introduce yourself in the chat box, I think we'd all love to see you and get to know each other. Great. Well, thank you so much, everyone, for coming. We'll go ahead and get started. I know more people will be joining us and quite a few more will be viewing this recording after the fact. So we really appreciate everyone coming out to learn more about all of the supports here for families. I'm Elizabeth Ozer. I'm the Policy and Special Projects Manager at First Up, formerly known as DeVacy. And we are really excited to conclude the Week of the Young Child with this Family Resource Showcase. I'm joined here by my colleagues, Jackie Gretsch and Rebecca Terrell. So thank you both for coming to help. Becca, can you go to the next slide? So if you haven't heard of Week of the Young Child, it is pretty exciting. This is actually the 50th anniversary. The 2021 Week of the Young Child is a big deal, and it's happening mostly virtually. So we really appreciate your participation in this event. Each day of the week has a different theme. There's Music Monday, Tasty Tuesday, and so on. And Friday is Family Friday. And we really wanted to, one, join the celebration of young children, but we also wanted to really center the conversation today around the idea that when families are doing well, the children do well. There's so many of us who work with children, and it can be hard to support families as well. So we really wanted to draw together all of the organizations that help families be the best caregivers they can be. And that includes programs helping the children as well as programs helping the adults. So we've compiled this really incredible list of a group of presenters and organizations who are going to share some more information with you today. Becca, can you go to the next slide? Perfect. So as a little preface, we at First Up are always working to support our early learning communities, whether that's with coaching, professional development, business support, and new initiatives. But we also are working to build a stronger early learning system across Pennsylvania. So if you'd be willing to help us in that action today, we'd love for you to join us by signing on to our Start Strong PA campaign, which is focused on building a better childcare system for all of Pennsylvania's children, but particularly infants and toddlers. We'd also love for you to sign on to our Pre-K for PA campaign, which is focused on ensuring that all 3- and 4-year-olds in Pennsylvania have access to quality, affordable pre-K. We'll be sharing those links in the chat box, and you can sign on as an individual human as well as an organization. So we'd love to have as long a list as possible of individuals and organizations and businesses who support the work of early learning. And all it means is your name is on a list along with other people who think that early learning is important. So if you have any questions, you can reach out to myself or my colleague Jackie, and we'd love to carry on a conversation or answer any questions. So without further ado, we will move on to celebrating children and learning more about the organizations that are helping to support families celebrate their children. I'd like to introduce Peter Moses. And just a little housekeeping. I apologize for my background noise. I'll mute very shortly. But we won't introduce every speaker. We'll move on, and there will be a title slide to introduce each person. And we'll let each of you know who are presenting when you're on deck and when you'll be expected to be next. Thank you so much. And Peter, you can go ahead and get us started.
Thank you. Thanks everyone for being here. I am with the Mindful Experience, and we enjoy having children, parents, and teachers all be the most mindful they can be. It's about being aware of what's going on around us and also our thoughts and feelings. And mindfulness is about paying attention to this moment, now. And that's where the richness and fullness of life is. And it provides a lot of stress reduction, more kindness, gratitude, clarity, wonderful benefits for mind and body. And I'm going to provide you with a gem right now that we can all do together. It's called the anchor breath, and kids like it as much as adults. And you can do it as often as you like, just takes a few moments. But it's one hand here and one hand on your solar plexus, on your tummy. And you just take a deep breath through your nose. And you sigh. You might find in these trying times that you sigh a lot anyway. It's a natural and wonderful stress release. But this combination of anchoring yourself in your body, taking a good oxygenating breath, and sighing is the anchor breath. It anchors you in your body and out of what might be a noisy and troubling thought process. Being anchored in your body feels good, and it's also great to smile, even if you don't necessarily feel like smiling. It's a combination of feeling anchored in your body, a good breath, and when you smile in the exhale, you're actually releasing endorphins, which are a natural mood elevating chemical into your bloodstream so that you feel better than before you smiled. Smiling and laughing have that effect on the mind and body. So feel free to just notice the breath going in and going out, and you can do it. Who's going to stop you? If we're breathing anyway, mindfulness allows us to breathe more fully, and in this case, release a lot of tension that you may feel in your mind and your body, and end it with a smile. Our company provides on-site and virtual mindfulness classes for children in preschools and in early elementary. We also have a teaching kit that schools are using to bring more mindfulness into the classroom, into normal everyday activities. And we have a parenting support package, which you can find on our website, that involves a lot of video support, magazines for families to enjoy games and practices and exercises with your children, a lot of music, that's my background as well, and a lot of mindfulness techniques which only take a few moments, but kids really take to very quickly, and then sometimes they can teach you as parents. So thank you for your time today, and remember, be here now. You can always ask, am I here now? It's a trick question, and it means that you're present now and not too much lost in thoughts or strong emotions. It's good to feel them and let them go. Everyone have a wonderful day, and thanks again for having me.
Hi, everyone. I'm Jacinda Arlana with the Lullaby Project. We are an organization, World Cafe Live is an organization that's been bringing the Lullaby Project to Philadelphia since, well, originally March of 2020, but then we all know how that went. So we were able to start launching it virtually over the summer. It's been really exciting to bring to the community. We partner with 12 teaching artists from the area to work with teachers or with parents of small children to write lullabies for their little ones. And I think I'd like to open this by sharing a video. Do you guys have the video link I sent you? I'd love to share it if possible.
In the forest through the trees, may you swing, swift and smooth. Abobrinha, minha querida. Abobrinha, from the blossom to the fruit, may you grow bright and strong. My sunshine boy, my sunshine boy, my sweet sunshine boy.
You illuminate the world and it shines back on you.
We love to thank the Leo.
Thank you so
And
much
we
for
are
sharing
really
that.
pleased to have
So that was Makakinu, and that was written by Anna, who is a parent that worked with teaching artist Bethlehem. I love that one. It's nice and short and sweet, but it was inspired by how Anna's baby makes this weird little monkey noise. It's a little just cute thing that they incorporated into it. And that's really the whole process of the Lullaby Project, is this generative songwriting, music making, skill building program that helps bring in this really emotional bonding process of songwriting in with raising a young child, which is of course very difficult, especially in these trying times. How many times do you think you're going to hear that today? But it's really been beautiful to be able to pull all of this together. We've connected families that have not seen each other for a very long time. We've been able to bring grandmothers together with their grandchildren and bring generations in all on Zoom in a way that they never would have otherwise. And we have so far helped parents write about 72 songs just in the past year. And I'm so excited to be able to do it more. It's been just growing more and more. We've been able to create entire groups taught and written in Spanish to bring in other communities in Philadelphia. And I hope that we are able to do it more and more as we go along. Our next registration period will be for the fall in 2021. You can always contact me, Jacinda Orlano, jacinda@liveconnections.org. If you want to be on the waiting list for that, we will email you when registration opens up. But if you'd like to catch a little more of the magic that happens with the Philadelphia Lullaby Project, you can catch our concert celebration on May 20th. We're going to premiere 12 new lullabies, which is just a selection of the ones that have been written over the past couple months. It will premiere on our YouTube channel. The link does not exist yet because it is currently being made, the video. So if you'd like to get on that mailing list, I can absolutely distribute it to you. Just give me an email and I will make sure you get it. This is a really magical program. I've been really honored to be able to help families connect and grow and bond over the past year. And I just can't wait for more of it to happen. Thank you so much for having me today. And if you have any questions, feel free to give me a call or email me. I really appreciate it.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm LaWanda Mars from the Urban Affairs Coalition. And I'm going to share a little bit about services that are available to families that in Philadelphia and the greater Philadelphia region. In Urban Affairs Coalition, we really serve to impact urban communities. And a part of our work is to provide services to early learning providers. We also provide professional development and technical assistance to early learning providers. And if anybody's interested in learning more about that work, you can reach out to phlprek@uac.org or to call the number listed on the slide. We also have a community and economic development department, and our CED department works to help individuals become more economically empowered through better personal and financial management. We have a foreclosure prevention resource center. We also have a financial advancement network, which we call fan clubs, and it consists of workshops really focused on helping individuals meet their financial goals. We also have a free first-time homebuyer webinar series. It just started this month in April. So if you're interested in any of those resources, you can go to the website that's listed, cedphilly.org. Another program that's a part of the Urban Affairs Coalition is called YO-ACAP, Youth Outreach Adolescent Community Awareness Program. And this organization provides after-school activities, advocacy for youth, health education treatment, health issues education, HIV/AIDS prevention and education, job training, placement, mentoring, neighborhood and communities, and parent education training. And one of the most exciting things they're doing now is the pre-apprenticeship learning in the building trades for youth. So any more information can be found at yoacap.org. And finally, I wanted to share about the UAC Summer Youth Employment Program. We're actively recruiting youth ages 14 to 18. You must live in the city of Philadelphia. And really, we're trying to empower youth with summer job experience and provide work experience, career exposure and awareness, and education and skill development. So any youth that are live in Philadelphia that are between the ages of 14 and 18, please promote and have them get involved with a summer youth employment opportunity. And they can go to phillyyouthemployment.org or email summeryouth@uac.org or the number that's listed as well. Thank you very much.
Hi, everyone. I'm Katie Rubenstein. I'm here representing Parent Child Plus along with Malkia Singleton. I'm going to let Malkia go first to talk about our home visiting program, which is now virtual, and then I'll talk about our family childcare program.
Thanks so much, Katie. Hi, everybody. Again, I'm Malkia Singleton with Parent Child Plus. We are early literacy school readiness home visiting program. We work with families that have children ages 16 months to 4 years of age, and we're primarily working in North Philadelphia and West Philadelphia with English-speaking families, and in Southwest, we're working with African and Latino immigrant families, and we provide the program in English, Spanish, and French, and some other African dialects as well. The program that works with families individually runs for 2 program cycles. So all in all, families participate in 92 home visits and receive 46 books and toys. Right now, everything is being done virtually, but families are still getting all of the books and toys, and then visits are happening via the computer, but they're still being shown how they can use those books and toys to increase parent-child verbal interaction and school readiness skills. And of course, we've been able to provide some other just basic needs and resources such as diapers, rental assistance, and whatnot during this time. So now I'm going to pass it to Katie, who's going to tell you about our family childcare model.
Hi again, everyone. So in addition to to working with individual families, we work with both licensed family child care providers and also family friend and neighbor or relative neighbor providers. It's very similar to our core program, which is what Malkia was explaining. We do for the family childcare model provide educational toys, books, and resources, but we also support the provider or the caregiver in implementing activities for multi-age groups. So this program is 23 weeks. Right now, it's all virtual, but we do still drop off the toys and books. Every time we offer a book, we also send enough home for the families to take home with them that are in care. And the toys are generally, we try to make sure we offer a wide variety of toys and also tailor the selection of those toys to the children that are in the group. This service is also provided in multiple languages. We have early learning specialists who can provide this program in English, Spanish, and French. And we just use the books and toys as a mechanism for encouraging fun play and learning activities. So if you're interested, you can call or text or email 215-806-9709 on the slide, or parentchildprogram@phmc.org. Also, I believe that Jackie added my personal email and Malkia's, and please feel free to reach out to either of us if you have any questions. Thank you.
Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Lonnie Spottison, and I'm here with my colleague, Angie Bellin, to share information with you about Maternity Care Coalition. You can go to the next slide. Okay, so Maternity Care Coalition has been around since 1980, founded in response to high rates of infant mortality and maternal morbidity. Unfortunately, with recent research being shown today, we see that those things still do exist within the very communities that we serve. The first program that Maternity Care Coalition developed in response to that was what we're most known for, which is our Mom-Mobile programs, and Angie will share more information about that. But we do offer a variety of programs and services to fulfill our MCC's mission, which is to improve the health and well-being of pregnant women and parenting families, and to enhance school readiness for children ages 0 to 3. And we definitely, again, accomplish our mission or fulfill it through the variety of programs and services that we offer within the agency. So really quick, I'll just point out a couple and then Angie will take it from there. Families are supported at MCC through a variety of ways. I'm going to start backwards here on the slide. But we have a research and program evaluation department that pretty much works to ensure that all of our interventions and modalities that we're using within our programs are definitely making an impact. And if not, of course, we make changes, as we all do, to make sure that what we're implementing is effective. We have a policy department, and our policy department just works pretty much as like advocates on the local and state level to do just that, advocate for programs, services, and things that support the vulnerable populations that we serve. So things, like Medicaid expansion, and I know pre-K for PA, we were like really heavily involved, but anything that comes up that impacts our families or would benefit them, either or, we definitely like to be involved as advocates in those things. So Angie, you want to take it from there?
Yes, hi everyone. Thank you for having us today. My name is Angie Bellon. I'm the Family and Community Engagement Associate at Maternity Care Coalition. And yes, what type of support do we provide and services do we provide to families? We have various support programs, and we have, for example, educational support. We are using the great-grandchildren's has a curriculum to provide support to families. We started with, since the families are prenatal up to 3 years old, and we help the families during the transition when they are exiting from our programs, and we help them to be enrolled into academic achievement. Also, we could provide substance abuse support, perinatal therapeutic support, for those who are experiencing either prenatal depression or postpartum depression. Also, we advocate strongly for those women who are incarcerated to eliminate shackling while they are giving birth. We also help the families to be empowered and be independent during our visits, and educate them during the process to either get into educational. Many parents go back to school. Some of them need to find jobs. We prevent abuse and neglect, safety sleeping. So we have various ways to support them. What type of referrals we provide? We refer families for the Crib for Kids program that I mentioned before, is preventing or is educating families in safety sleeping. We also provide the pack and play. We provide resources that like linking the families to resources like educate, food, clothes, immigration, WIC program. What kind of baby items we provide? Well, we provide the pack and play, diapers, food. Sometimes many families, we can conduct what we call free market. They can come and pick up clothes when we are open in person. We also have a limited services. Those families that are not eligible for any of our program, but they are interested in limited services, they can come to the office and pick up diapers or formula when is in need. How we collaborate? We collaborate during the outreach. We go out to the community for outreach. We provide now virtual collaboration with other providers. We receive referral from the clinic, from the WIC office, from the public assistant, word of mouth. So basically, community is very aware about what is MCC and what are we doing in there. Is any questions now?
Well, I just want to add one thing before we move on, because what we are most known for are our home visiting services. So I just wanted to say that is our MomMobile entails home visiting, where we provide parenting support, health education for both the caregiver and the child. And activities are facilitated during the home visits that support in the child's growth and fine motor skills, as well as focus on literacy, and works towards our goals to support the family in achieving school readiness for the child. So thank you all.
Hello, my name is Adele Struble. I'm here to talk about the parenting education services offered at Public Health Management Corporation, also known as PHMC. The different parenting education programs offered have different primary goals. We have 9 different programs that I'm here to speak about, but some of the shared goals include appropriate developmental stages, positive play, healthy relationships, and communication tools. So all of the parenting education programs offered through PHMC are currently being offered virtually. We have a range of different intensity for parenting education services. So we offer home visiting services, which is one-on-one. And in non-pandemic times, a home visitor would then come to your home and provide you with activities and resources and direct one-on-one parent education services. Then we also offer group parenting education services. In non-pandemic times, that's offered in the community, but currently these are offered online. And these are in small groups where we focus on positive parenting skills or healthy physical and emotional growth. Some of the programs focus on healthy co-parenting and relationships. Some are focused on first-time parents and others focus on teen parents. So we have a range of different parent education services that have different focuses depending on the needs of your family and the community that they're serving. And some of the parent education services offer both one-on-one and group services. So we have a lot of different options available. If you're interested in parent education, we can find a good fit for you. So all of the curriculums that are used through PHMC use evidence-based or evidence-informed services. Staff are trained for the specific curriculums that are offered, and some even require specialized skills. So all of our staff are very highly trained and they're very knowledgeable in the services that they're offering to you. Some of the programs do have eligibility requirements, and if you're interested in taking part in parenting education services, please reach out to me and I'll help identify what parenting program fits you and your family's needs best. If a program doesn't fit your family and your family's needs through PHMC, I'm happy to refer you to outside programs offered throughout Philadelphia that may suit your family's needs as well. So reach out to me with any questions regarding parenting education services, and I'm happy to help connect you to the most appropriate program. Thank you.
Next, we have Nicole Campbell from the ELRC 18. Nicole, are you on?
Yes, I'm sorry. I was talking. I thought I was unmuted. I'm sorry.
Oh, no problem.
I'm sorry. So my name is Nicole Campbell. I'm here with Adrian Dempsey Diggs. So we're here to talk about the Early Learner Resource Center that provides a single point of contact for families and early learner resource providers and community partners to gain information and access services that provides high quality childcare and early learning programs. I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with that, the fact that the Early Learner Resource Center was formatted by consolidating the Child Care Information Services and the regional key programs to create an enhanced resource and referral system for communities seeking early learning services and support. Okay. The Early Learner Resource Center assists both low-income families and TANF families seeking childcare assistance. The resource and referral services are available to all, regardless of the eligibility requirement. We provide information and ideas of how to select the best possible early learning programs or settings for children, identify who are seeking high-level childcare services or looking to participate in the Keystone Stars program. Most participants that participate with our program are responsible for a weekly co-payment. Some of the services that we offer here are the Child Care Works, the subsidized child care program, the Keystone Stars program, which is really 4-star rating programs that our daycare facilities participate with. The higher the star, the higher the quality that the program offers. We also offer pre-K counts or Head Start, early intervention, evidence-based visiting like nurse and family partnership, and parents as teachers, and early Head Start programs. Some of the basic requirements for the program is that the parent must meet the work hour requirement. They can either work, they would need to work a minimum of 20 hours a week or a combination of 10 hours of work and 10 hours of training. They must be a Pennsylvania resident and have an eligible child under the age of 13 or over the age of 13 that's disabled, and they must verify that the child is unable to care for themselves. The children that's requesting care or eligible for services must be a United States citizen or lawfully permitted to the U.S. in order to receive child care services or benefit from our agency. We also service our teen parent population, and those are children who are under the age of 18 who are enrolled in a full-time high school, junior high school, or middle school program. And so if they need childcare services, they would just need to submit that educational verification form from the school just to confirm that they're attending school full-time. We also service our TANF population, and basically with the requirements, the County Assistance Office refers those population to our agency. We do not determine the eligibility for our TANF recipients. However, the County Assistance Office determines whether or not they're child care eligible. And with that particular population, they would need to be in an approved activity, either a work program activity or a training activity. Once they're pushed over to the ELRC, they must complete a face-to-face with our agency. And some of those recipients can either pay a co-payment or not pay a co-pay, depending on what activity they're enrolled in. If the client needs an application, currently we're not open to the public. However, they can use our Compass website, which is www.compass.pa. Thank you. I was stuck right there. Thank you, Adrian. We do have a point of contact, which is Shakoya Richardson. She's our outreach coordinator. So if you have any questions, you can contact her at any time. And her phone number is 215-382-4762, extension 2486. And you can also email her as well at srichardson@caringpeoplealliance.org. Thank you.
And just to add before you move on, because Shakoya is our outreach coordinator, if any of you would like us to present and just to tell a little more about to your staff or to maybe your program about the ELRC, we'd be happy to do right now virtually until we get moving again. Be happy to present and talk about our services.
Thank you.
Thanks, everybody.
Good afternoon, everyone. Matt Williams here, along with my colleague Shannon Wise. We're from the Department of Health, Division of Chronic Disease and Injury Prevention. And I'll let Shannon take it away.
Hi, everyone. Yeah, Shannon with the Division of Chronic Disease and Injury Prevention, as I said. So we're here today to talk a little bit about keeping our bodies healthy as well as our minds. Such a critical part of supporting families and young children. I stuck these in really quickly. These are the Board of Health recommendations. So some best practices around screen time and healthy beverages for young children. Just a quick reminder for us all in terms of promoting water and milk as the healthy primary beverages and limiting screens and making time for other activities. So we'll go a little bit more in detail to how to do these best practices, and I'm going to throw it back over to Matt.
Yep. And just one of the things that we wanted to start off was water, because we know that a lot of children in the US don't drink enough water. And half of that is because they are drinking that as juice instead of actually eating whole fruits and vegetables. So just another thing that juice leads to is just increased calorie consumption, risk of dental caries, as well as it lacks the benefits of that whole food where you get that fiber. We can go on to the next slide. And then this is something that we just want some tips that we wanted to give out. We named it Fancy Water. Yeah, I stole this from one of the providers that we previously worked with. But just some tips for infused water, just to spice it up a little bit. So you can put different fruits in there. Also, as well as if you wanted to add mint or basil to give it a zesty or just a refreshing taste. That's some of the things that you can do. And going on to the next slide. Oh, I can skip one. No problem. So just another thing. So the nutrition we just wanted to talk about, because about 75% of children spend time in the early childhood education setting. So it's just an opportunity to expose children to healthy food and beverage choices as their taste preferences are developing. And then just that ECE staff can help to engage and teach family healthy practices for young children. And like I said, one of these is by fiber because it keeps children full and it helps the digestive system keep things moving as well. And if you want to go on to the next slide. And I'll pass it back over to Shannon.
Thanks, Matt. And I just mentioned in the chat that we have some of those cards, the small changes cards and the water recipe cards that we can certainly share out both to First Up and to partners on the call or families so that you can use to communicate with everyone. We wanted to highlight some ways to integrate movement in your daily lives. We know a lot of, we've talked a lot about stress and mental health, and one way to, one strategy to help with that and cope with that is to think about integrating more movement. So we want to highlight a couple of our a couple of websites here that have great resources. So one is phillypowered.org. That is actually a website that you can go to find no to low cost physical activity opportunities throughout the city. And there you can also find and get connected with We Walk PHL, which is the second bullet here. But the best way to find out more about We Walk PHL is through their Facebook group. They lead different walking groups throughout the city at different times, different days, different parks and areas. And it really is a great opportunity. This is actually a picture of that. And those groups sort of warming up before they go out on their walk. We've heard a lot about the social connection made as well. And I think that's something that we're all sort of desiring right now. And one last resource is the Philly Parks and Rec Park Finder. So that is another great resource to figure out what resources and what activities are happening at different rec sites throughout the city. So you can find something that really matches your interest. Because one thing that we say is, you really need to find a way. Movement should really be the vacation in your day and the thing that you enjoy and look forward to, so that it really becomes a natural part of what you do. I think you can go on to the next slide. Great. Thank you.
Hi. Hello. My name is Ben Sarita, and I'm with MANA. That's the Metropolitan Area Nutritional Neighborhood Nutritional Alliance. And I am the Community Engagement Associate. I put coordinator in there. I'm very new, so that's just a sign of my newness, but I'm excited to talk to you today. Hopefully you can hear me well. We've got a full kitchen going on in the background, but you can go to the next slide. So at MANA, we believe that food is medicine. It's a key way to provide nutritional assistance to folks going through life-threatening illnesses. We cater to individuals, families, and children specifically. And it's just through a recent initiative called the MANA Institute, we found how much it really just helps families lower their health costs, increase their overall health, and increase their journey to better health. So what we do, like I said, we provide full meals. So that's 7 meals a day. And that's three meals a day, 7 days a week. So we send up to 35,000 plus meals a week. It depends upon kind of the week load. We cater to folks going through HIV/AIDS, cancer, diabetes, any other kind of life-threatening illnesses. And one of the key things is that if you are an adult individual who is requesting meals, we do provide kids meals to all of your dependents. And most of the work is 97% of the work, like packaging the meals, cooking the meals is all done through volunteers. And we have 12 diets that can be kind of combined up to 3 at a time to really tailor to the client's nutritional needs. And each meal is provided free of charge. You can go to the next one. So who does it? It's our fabulous volunteers. So like Miss Arlene, who is my favorite volunteer. You can't tell any of the other volunteers though. I don't want to make them jealous. But she's just fabulous, and just like the people who come in, they're really here for the clients themselves, and they recognize how much food has brought their families together, and that's kind of their mission and their drive. And they do it for the client. So this is one of our clients that we provide meals for, and his family. I will drop my information. Thank you, Jackie, is in the chat. If you have any interest, or if you know anyone who might benefit from our meals, they are free of charge. It can be through their Medicaid or Medicare provider, or otherwise. So yeah, let me know if you would like to volunteer, or if you would like our meals. Thank you so much. And let me mute.
All right, unmuted now. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Amari Baye. I'm the manager of the Bell Project at PEC, which is actually under a larger umbrella, the Early Childhood Education Department umbrella. Under that umbrella, we have 3 programs. There is AFL, Action for Early Learning, PAT, Parents as Teachers, and Bell. So I'm going to pass the baton over to Zoe so she can describe AFL. Thank you. Can we unmute Zoe Buckwalter?
Thank you. All right, there we go. Hi, everyone. I'm Zoe. Like Omari said, I'm from Action for Early Learning at PEC. And yeah, basically we provide early literacy programming to the Promise neighborhood in West Philadelphia to try and make sure that every family has access to quality early childhood centers and is ready, has their child prepared for kindergarten and also to read on grade level by 4th grade. So we provide a number of different programs. We do our K-Mixers to help provide childcare centers with resources to help parents register for kindergarten. We also do our Growing Great Readers workshop, which we collaborated with Children's Literacy Initiative to develop. So it's basically a workshop where we talk about all the different ways you can incorporate literacy education into your daily life and in interactions between the parent and child. And then we do a sustainable self-care workshop as well, and specifically focusing on self-care and community care in the times of COVID. And then just lastly, I'll plug, we do a weekly book depot at 37th and Mount Vernon Ave in West Philly from 12 to 2 every Saturday, where we have our family navigators giving out books to community members and talking about our programming. So I'll list my contact information and those programs in the chat. Feel free to reach out to me if you're interested in us bringing any of those programs to your organization or people you work with.
Awesome, great, thanks, Zoe. So for Bell, we actually prepared a brief video. Hopefully we can just show a couple minutes of it.
The stigma of homelessness is really off. I noticed that even being in school and hearing people talk about it, so I just kind of listen like, no, that's not how it is. I am one step away from homelessness. It could be me tomorrow. It could be any of us.
For whatever reason, all of us, most Americans, are just one paycheck or two paychecks away from experiencing homelessness ourselves.
The period prior to ending up in a shelter can be a really difficult time in a child's life and a family's life. You know, there's lots of different reasons why people end up, least of all is economic. Domestic violence can play a role, and sometimes it means they lose not only the family they were living with or the home that they were living in, but their neighborhood, their schools, anything that's important to them. And so it's a period of significant loss and potential trauma for kids.
Children who are experiencing homelessness really have a difficult time. They have the most difficult time. They are the most vulnerable.
A lot of our children that come here are not on age-appropriate level. They might not have crawled, or they might not be walking by the time they're a year old. A lot of times their growth might be stagnant or slower because the moms might be carrying them around a lot, or the moms can't put them on the floor because they're not in a safe environment. So they're behind as far as their development goals. They're here to focus on housing and to focus on the things that need to get them to that goal. But the kids have goals as well, and their future is really important. And I want them to enjoy every moment while they're here, so that this is not a bad experience for them, so that it's a good experience for them, so that it's a great experience for them.
So we just really try to be the friend for them and the advocate for them, and connect them to a place for their children while they get themselves back on their feet. And we work with families to inform them about high quality early childhood programs and to really try to educate them about what that looks like and the importance of enrolling their children into high quality early childhood programs. Children learn through exploring, they learn through touching, smelling things, feeling, asking questions. Children ask questions, and it's important to have a caregiver that's patient, that answers those questions. And children learn through play. Less teacher-directed activities and more child-directed activities.
Try to get the kids where they need to be, so that once they get into school, kindergarten or Head Start or preschool, they're right where they need to be. Not because we don't want them to say, oh, this child is not where they need to be because they've been homeless. We still want the kids that are homeless to get the same education as the kids that are not homeless.
We've helped a lot of families connect to quality ECE centers for their children, and we know, or believe anyway, that that will have a lasting impact on them and better prepare them to enter kindergarten ready to learn. We also know some of the barriers for ECE centers in general. We have two systems now that are better informed about each other.
I had so many families come here and say, when I came in the door, I was emotional. I was in tears, and I did not expect to get this experience at all. And I want every family to feel like that. I want every family to walk in their door to get that feeling. I don't ever want them to feel like they are homeless. I want them to feel like they're here for support, and that's what we're here for, to give them support and to provide programming and services within the shelter to support them and their children, all ages, not just 0 to 5, but all ages.
And quietly supporting other people. That's what we do. Mm-hmm.
Hey, so thank you very much for sharing that video. Actually, I love it, and it's a great description of the scope of Bell. For families who aren't interested in necessarily enrolling their children in an ECE program, PAT, that's where PAT comes in, and they actually provide support for families with children ages 0 to 3. And they focus on developmentally centered parenting, and they'll go inside emergency housing sites, whether it be EH or transitional, to not only improve parenting practices, but increase pre-K readiness. They want to prevent child abuse and neglect, increase housing security, and also participation in community supports. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Arlene Siegel, and I'm delighted to be with you all today. And I'm going to share the time with my colleague, Jessica Begley. We're from SOAN's Grand Family Resource Center, and we're going to just change the focus a little bit to the grandparents, because our goal in the Grandparents Resource Center is to support the grandparents so they can provide the love and stability that these children need. No child lives with a grandparent for a happy reason. And I'm sure you all are cognizant of the reasons that the grandchildren live with their grandparents. So all of these families have experienced tremendous trauma. So all our services are provided with trauma-informed care. I am the coordinator for Philly Families Connect and Philly Families Eat Right. Philly Families Connect brings together grandparents in weekly, hourly telephone support groups throughout Philadelphia. We did meet in person before the pandemic, but now, of course, all our projects are virtual. Within these groups, in these workshops, grandparents can connect with each other, because although there are probably about 13,000 grandparent-headed families in Philadelphia, they often feel isolated and alone. So the idea to come together with other grandparents who have experienced and are experiencing the same things, the same joys and problems and puzzles, and raising children together in a whole new world. So if it were difficult before to be a grandparent raising a grandchild, just imagine the pressures on these families where all the children are at home now. And they are a remarkable group of people. We share resources, we share ideas, and it's the real power of coming into a group and having somebody else say, I know just how you feel. I've been there before. You can do it. There's a light at the end of the tunnel. I also bring experts in to speak with the grandparents, and it might be legal experts. We brought in yoga instructors. We've done a variety of things, and the connections that can be built on the phone are really substantial. We serve grandparents throughout Philadelphia and in the neighboring counties. The children would be up to ages 18, but if the children have special needs, the families can stay with us until they're 25. There's no bureaucracy. All a grandparent has to do is call me at 215-487-3000 extension 11, and I will give you all my email address. And it is, it's easy, it's comfortable, it's warm, and it's really empowering. And I feel really privileged to be able to work with these families. So thank you, and I'll hand it over to Jessica.
All right, good afternoon. I know we're running short on time, so I'll be brief. I run the Philly Families Read Together program at SOAN, and I'm the family literacy educator there. And our program is focused on grandparents who are raising or caring for their grandchildren ages 3 to 8. And we help them, we support them in helping their grandchildren to build early literacy skills. We have grandparents that are connecting with one another. We provide them with books and other educational resources to support early literacy. And we also provide them with digital literacy lessons so that our grandparents can become more proficient with the technology that is out here that they are, some of them are kind of being a little bit forced to use now that we're in this virtual space. And so along with our digital literacy, we also also have an app that is in its final development stages at SOAN that we're happy to bring forth. And I'm so glad that I've witnessed all of your presentations, because we can now add all of these resources to our app as well, so our grandparents will be able to access them. So thank you for your time today.
Thank you. And I just want to add that the end of each group, this is the way we end. When we were together, we hugged each other, but we say it on the phone too. Together as grandparents, we are a force to be reckoned with, and they are. And so if you know any grandparents or other relatives who are raising children who are not their own, please think about SOAN's Grand Family Resource Center. Thank you for your time.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Mary Wilson. I am the Family Literacy Coordinator for the Center for Literacy. I am here along with my colleague, Daisy Perez, who is the ESL Family Literacy Instructor. And there are our emails, and it was also put in the chat if you would like to reach out to us. So you can go to the next slide. So just a little bit about our ESL Family Literacy Program. We are currently funded by the William Penn Family Literacy Initiative, as well as United Way. Our program serves immigrant caregivers with limited English language skills, as well as helping them to communicate more effectively in English and equipping them with the necessary resources and tools to support their children's learning to read on grade level. We currently have partnerships with 3 schools in the city. We are partnered with Francis Scott Key Elementary School, as well as John H. Taggart and William H. Leish Elementary School in the Northeast. We currently serve families from those schools who have children, at least one child that are in grades from pre-K to 3rd grade. However, we do provide support for other children that may be older in those families. And you can go to the next slide. So our program consists of 3 components, the adult ed piece. So again, we're currently serving immigrant families, so we provide ESL curriculum, as well as parenting enrichment resources, tools, and curriculum. And our most important piece is the interactive learning activity, where we do we meet twice a month with the parents and kids, and we do virtual literacy activities with them to encourage a literacy bond between the parent and child, and habits that they can develop in the home, increasing literacy between them. Some examples of our activities include the ABCs of reading, talking about mental health, revolving feelings. We also recently did a lesson around Women's History Month and helping families identify important women from their home countries. And what we're going to present today is a creative writing activity we did with the families, where we talked about the WH questions of stories. So the who, what, where, and I think we've got when and how of stories. So during our ILA, we do some read alouds and some listening of stories online. We talk about the stories. We do arts and crafts and other activities to reinforce the importance of reading. So I'm going to let Daisy introduce our creative writing activity of silly stories, and you guys are actually going to listen to a story one of our children actually wrote themselves and drew pictures for her story. So you can go ahead, Daisy.
Okay, thanks, Mary. Yeah, so in the next slide, you're going to see an activity we did during the ILA. It was, can you just go to the next slide, please? Thank you. So here you will see we had a writing activity. We just chose some silly titles from this book that I have, is Silly Starters. And we just chose like 3 options and gave them to them, like just gave them, we gave each family 10 minutes to write down their own story. So in those 10 minutes, each one wrote, chose a topic and wrote a story about it. And we just have an example for you to hear today and just get an idea. So I think you can play there the audio for us. Thank you. Okay. Is it better?
On
Once upon a time, there was an elephant. He was made of chocolate, which is yummy. He liked to sing a song and dance all along. One day when he played in the jungle, he stamped his feet. His leg was broken, but no blood come out from his leg. No pain. Then he said, "What's that? Goodness me. The smell is good." He tasted it. "Oh no, it's chocolate, my favorite. How can I eat my leg? Silly me." He fixed his leg back, even he loved chocolate. He go back to dancing and singing. The end.
Okay. Yeah, so this is, as Mary said, this is the story that we wrote, that Mar wrote in the last session when we were doing the writing. Yeah, so, okay, so this was just an example of the story that we wrote in that session, and we're trying to encourage learners, the students and the parents to write more and to create things, so and to do projects together as a family. So yeah, so this is, and some of the resources we use is from Read by Fourth. Of course, it's our main source. So like the skills, the active reading and early reading skills materials, we use the materials and videos from Read by Fourth. Also Unite for Literacy, Storyline Online, that are websites where you can read stories and listen to the stories. Like the Storyline Online, read stories by celebrities, and also YouTube videos like read aloud stories, and also read works. So those are some of the resources we use with our families. We also try to give them at least once in the semester, we try to give away some materials and incentives for the families to be active and participate. We also give away educational games to those kids that are most active and do complete activities on one of the platforms we use. So yeah, those are ways to encourage learners to be active in the sessions. I think that's it, right? I don't know, Mary, if you want to add something else, but if you're interested in learning more about our program, just feel free to reach out to us and we'll be happy to share more information with you. Thank you.
Hi, everyone. Good afternoon. My name is Abby Thaker, and I'm here on behalf of the Read by Fourth campaign. I am going to briefly provide an overview of what Read by Fourth is, and I'm happy to see a lot of our partners here today, and then share just one specific resource that is available to Philadelphia families. You can go to the next. So just a bit about who Read by Fourth is. We are a citywide coalition of parents and partners that are working to protect every child's right to read. We work to support families by providing information and resources like those that are being shared here today. We work in communities to make sure that we are a city of literacy-rich neighborhoods, and we work with our citywide systems. You can go to the next. If you are interested in learning more or perhaps getting involved, there are opportunities for parents, organizations, really anyone who cares about Philadelphia's early literacy situation. There's a link to RSVP on the slide that I can share in the chat as well. We have our next quarterly partner orientation meeting coming up on May 6th, where we will provide a quick overview of the campaign and many ways to get involved. And you can also email me with questions at any time. Go to the next. All right, but one quick resource that I wanted to share. This is a resource that was identified by members of our Family Engagement Steering Committee, and it is something called Ready for K that I personally have found really valuable as a parent, and I'm excited to be able to share it with other families in Philadelphia. But Ready for K is an evidence-based family engagement curriculum that sends text messages to families. It had been 3 times a week, but now comes 5 times a week. It's available for families with children ages birth up through age 9. in the languages listed on the slide. And all of the messages are written at a 3rd grade reading level, so that is accessible to a wide variety of families. Go to the next. I'm going to go quick for time, but there are lots of studies and randomized controlled trials showing that this is an effective tool to use. Go to the next. And the curriculum is aligned with the 5 protective factors. And I will go ahead to the next slide just to give you a quick overview of some of the sample messages. So on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, families receive age-appropriate tips that correspond to the age of their child, with information about things that they can do as part of their daily routine that will support their children's early language development, early literacy development, math, and social emotional skills. So here you can see, we'll go quick. Here's an example of a Monday tip, provides a fact with a little piece of information for families. Followed by on Wednesday, there's a tip with something you can say or something that you can do during your day. Going to number 5, the Friday tip, and there's a growth with a little bit more information on the same theme. But something new that those of you who have heard about Ready for K in recent years might not know about yet. Go to the next. We have just a couple weeks ago added a new version of the curriculum that provides resources on Tuesdays and Thursdays as well. The Tuesdays and Thursdays messages provide links to local resources that were identified by our partners for Philadelphia families. And you can see just some examples there on the slide. Go to the next. So if you are interested in trying it out or in learning more, first of all, the easiest way to sign up right now is that you could send a text message that says read by 4th to 70138. Starting on Monday, you will start to receive text messages in the late afternoon. If you work with many families and you would like to enroll a whole lot of families at one time, that's definitely the most efficient way to go. You can send me an email or my colleague Janae, and her email address is on the slide. I think that's my last one, but let's see what comes next. And Jackie, thank you for putting that in the chat. All right, thank you.
All right, I think, Philip, are you here and ready to share? Oh, fabulous. You're on mute still.
There we go. Yeah, I just checking my mute. Hi, everyone. Philip Hammond from the School District of Philadelphia, Office of Family and Community Engagement. I apologize, I do not have slides to share as a very last minute addition to this. Thanks, Elizabeth, for having me here. I'm just going to share a couple of events that we have that are upcoming. When May 20th, we are going to do it's basically a summer program fair, and we are currently accepting vendors from the outside of the school district that would like to present on their summer programs. So if you're interested in that, please email me. I think they just dropped my email into the chat. We are in the process of planning that out now. So I will, if you're interested and you want to present, you have a summer program for school-age children that you'd like to share with our families, please email me and I'll send you the information about that. A couple other things that we have coming up. We do have our internal summer program, the school district summer programming. That's the signups are now taking place, but we will have parent information sessions coming up. The first one is this Monday, and I'll drop in the chat the website that you can go to if you'd like to attend those sessions. Then we also have our family and our Family Academy workshops that we do. We usually do those on a weekly basis. Some of the topics that we've done in the past are credit repair. We've done first-time home buyer workshops. We've done, during the pandemic, we've done Google Suite workshops and how to use Chromebooks, curriculum, math and ELA curriculum at home. So we have a wide array of things that we have that we offer. Next week, we will be doing, we partner with Crayola, and we'll be doing some workshops with them through the rest of this month. And again, I'll drop our website in the chat, and I encourage you to go to our website and get a good look at some of the upcoming workshops. And then we also have a video library of workshops that we presented throughout the year. So that's all that I got. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Frances Hoover, and I am with Smith Memorial Playground and Playhouse. I can be very brief and just say that we are in East Fairmount Park. We have 6.5 acres of really fun outdoor space for families that is open to the public, free of charge, 6 days a week. From Tuesday through Friday, we are open from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. And on Saturday and Sunday, we're open from 10 to 6. And throughout the summer, we will have all kinds of family-friendly activities happening during those times. And I wanted to just highlight a few special events that we have coming up this summer. One is our annual Kids Concert Series, which will be 3 Fridays throughout the summer. In June, July, and August. It's called Kitchella, and it's tons of fun for the family. It is a fee-based program, but every family with an access card gets special admission into that event. And then also wanted to point out in July, in celebration of our birthday, our 122nd birthday, we're going to have a family movie night on July 23rd. So we invite you to come by at any time. Like I said, we're open 6 days a week, and then especially on our special events this summer.
Perfect. Thank you so much. And we've shared your website in the chat as well. I know we're at 2:13. We have our last presenter with an exciting resource, and then we'll thank everybody for coming. Justin, go ahead.
Okay, I'm trying to try and, there we go. This is good. This will probably suffice, and I'll drop a lot of information in the chat. I want to thank First Up for including me in the 11th hour. And I just want to talk to folks about the After School and Summer Locator. This is a partnership with the city of Philadelphia, and it's kind of the new version of an after-school directory that ASAP used to compile. At its peak, had about 1,300 site listings. We want this resource to be a household name and the one-stop shop for families and caregivers to find summer and after-school programming. And I'm really hopeful that the group here can share this with this resource with their families. I certainly want to take this show on the road and make as many presentations to family serving groups as possible. And I want to make sure that all of your organizations have the opportunity to list your programming here. These are all things that ASAP is happy to help with. And so you'll have my information in the chat. Please reach out. But basically, this locator has focus areas that families can search for anything that can match their child's interest, age group, geography, the needs of the family, like transportation. And it has information about costs of the program. And you can imagine it also has information if the program is available in the summer, if it's available as a remote program, a virtual program, or if it's in person. Right now, a lot of our programs have been operating virtually, or they've been operating in access centers. And we see this summer as a critical opportunity to bring kids back in person, reconnect them to their school communities and to after school providers. So we really want to promote this information. We know that with the district's recent announcement, if we pause right here on this slide, I'll highlight it. With the district's announcement about summer, a lot of information is going to start being populated in this locator very soon. And again, if you have programs, we want to help you get your information in this locator. And we'll be presenting at the FACE office too. You can see from this slide, this is how families can search for programs by keyword up top, or by grade, by program term, focus area. All of these options hopefully will help families make informed decisions about after school programs. And if they're having trouble navigating it, they can just call ASAP and we'll help them too. But if you are a provider, this is how your information will be displayed to families. So can we go to the next slide? I just want to show some, this is how it kind of looks. Next slide, please. I want to get to some of the, keep going. Perfect, let's stop here. So here's like the general things that if you are a provider, the activities you can select to choose what your site offers. And this is and age ranges, etc. If we go to the next slide, I'm going to pause right here. With the help of the Read by Fourth campaign and some other and partner network, we've retooled this section, this academic section to have a lot of reading specific options to really help families connect to the right reading program for their child. So it was great to hear so many of you doing reading programs. If you see under academic general, there's different options. We want you to select which one is appropriate to your program. And we will help you, give you information so you understand you're making the right choice. We've also added these tutoring questions because we know that a lot of families are looking for academic support as we return to in-person programming. So we are really hoping everybody can share this with families, share with other providers who can add their information here so that we can get hundreds, if not more than 1,000 listings here for families to find in the summer and during the school year. So if you can just roll through the slide, keep going. This is STEAM, sports, athletics, cultural activities, right? Keep moving. Great, community service and things to keep in mind. This is an important slide. This stuff is happening in real time. There are only maybe about under 100 listings in here now because a lot of providers are wrapping up what they do during the school year. And the listings will only appear if the time frame is current. So now we have this big task. Now that we know what summer is going to look like a little bit, that we have to get a lot of information in here for families for it to be actionable for them this year. So we are encouraging this to get in front of families so they know to look at it early and often. And more information will be coming together. So let's go to the next slide. We don't have to do questions. We'll go to the next one. These are just ways you can find it. And if you need help updating programming, or if you just want to schedule some presentations for families, you can either contact me or my colleague, Paul. And really, we want to do, again, everything we can to exhaust every option to get this in front of families and caregivers, and to make sure that we're helping you promote your programming. So if that's something that you're interested in, we really appreciate your partnership, particularly for all those that are also highlighting their early literacy programs. We really want to make an impact this year. So thank you again for this time, and I appreciate your partnership.
Thank you so much, Justin. That's a great way to end our event. Thank you everyone for coming out and sharing your information. Thank you to all of the childcare providers and families who made it on today. This afternoon, we will be posting this recording on our website and circulating in our newsletter so that as many families as possible and as many of the caregivers who connect with families as possible will be able to share this incredible information. We'll also be following up with everybody with some additional opportunities. You can look at our website to see all of the work that we do, but there are also opportunities to share this information with the childcare community more directly during our Southeastern PA Early Childhood Coalition meetings, which occur monthly. So if you'd be interested in being included to share some of your resources during one of those meetings, either in the early summer or in the early school year, please contact either myself or my colleague Jackie. And we hope everybody has a wonderful week of the young child. I will let everyone know we always can use more advocacy support for early learning. So if you're not signed up for the early learning PA coalition campaigns, Start Strong PA and Pre-K for PA, we'd really appreciate your support. We can share those links again in the chat, and we'll send a follow-up email thanking all of you. So thank you all for coming out, and we hope to continue to partner with you all in the future. And please have a wonderful week of the young child. Celebrate your children, celebrate everybody else's children, and we look forward to seeing an even brighter early childhood community in the coming months. have a wonderful day, and thanks again for all of your support and hard work. I wish I had some nice inspirational music to play for everybody, but have a great day, and thanks for everything.